What I've got for you today should be, how do I word this nicely? It should be a special series of StarCraft 2. I was just having a look at my ESL Open Cup replay packs for this week, and I realized that these two legends played against each other in the round of 32 for the weekly American Open. So spawning right here in the top left-hand corner in game number 1, going for a gas into a spawning pool. All right, we have none other than uThermal. Now he's playing under the nickname of YouTube Man. I thought I was the huge... Anyways, his opponent in the opposite corner, playing with the blue Protoss pieces, he goes by the name of Maplez. But Maplez is playing under the idea of Mape the Ape. And that should already give you a pretty good understanding of what he likes to do. Now, whenever I watch these two play the game in 2024, I'm always getting this vibe, right? This is crazy, I know. But I'm always getting the vibe that they're trying to play the game and have fun at the same time. I know, playing StarCraft 2 for fun in general is kind of crazy. Playing it for fun in 2024, even more ridiculous. Mape over here scouting because he knows that there's a very good chance that there may be some proxy hatcheries. None of that is the case though, but we did have a very quick gas into a spawning pool here, so this is a bit funky. uThermal right now arrives at 100 gas, but he's not spending his gas on anything yet. I'm assuming, okay, it will be linked. I mean, it could have been a lair. That would have been really dumb, but you never really know with uThermal. Mape, as of me making this video, currently the rank 3 Grandmaster on the North American server. uThermal currently unranked, although if he tried, he could definitely be, yeah, top 3 as well in NA for sure, right? Like, uThermal has changed his playstyle a lot ever since he, well, decided to take this game a little bit more casually and have some more fun in the process. He's been changing his playstyle a ton, so historically, he's been one of the very best European Terrans. These days, he doesn't really play ladder seriously anymore, but he obviously still has the skill. So it's always a bit difficult for me to really rank where uThermal is currently at. Like, yeah, maybe MMR-wise, he would be around, I don't know, like maybe late 5,000s, maybe early 6,000s. But if he really tried, I'm sure he could climb all the way back up and probably dominate the North American ladder if he tried to. He could probably be the #1. Although I guess, yeah, on the whole, I guess Trigger still plays on the NA server, right? And he is still a very, very strong competitor. Anyways, what exactly do we have here? It's a Stargate opener from Maplez. Okay, that's not all too funky. It's a very quick lair here as well, though, from uThermal. What in the world are we doing? We're making a load of Zerglings at this point. Is this what I think it is, uThermal? I've seen him experiment with this a bunch. Is this an Overlord drop? Yep, it is an Overlord drop. At this point, Maplez doesn't see it, but he is suspecting that something is a little funky. Oh, okay. He does see the Overlord right now, but still, this is so annoying. Second Overlord is coming up too, so this is a double Overlord drop at 3.5 minutes into the game. Now, this is one of those unexplored territories of StarCraft 2. One Stalker's actually not gonna win that fight. One Overlord drop, maybe not that crazy, but what about a second one? We've had one Overlord drop, yes. What about a second Overlord drop? That was my best impression. Yeah, I'm not a hobbit. Anyways, this shield battery over here should probably be targeted. Second shield battery in the main base too. You'll love to see it. HYDRALISK then already at the 4-minute mark right here for the YouTube man. And we've got ourselves a Twilight Council on the back of this too after just a single Void Ray. I do like the Void Ray though. I think the Void Ray here is quite clever. Yeah, an Oracle would not be bad, I guess, but a Void Ray does certainly make life a bit easier. Mape decides to not, okay, deactivate the Prismatic Alignment ability there, just to, I guess, slow down his Void Ray a little bit. Ultimately, this link drop has not really achieved all too much. As long as there's energy, yeah, as long as there's battery overcharges, we really shouldn't see a lot of probes going down, and, well, I think he's good. Yeah, I think he's totally fine. It was a Hydra Den for just a moment, but uThermal decides to cancel the HYDRALISK Den and go into a Spire instead. What's funny is that I've been watching a lot of very high-level StarCraft as of late, and you kind of lose perspective a little bit, right? Like, not to be a jerk to either of these two players or whatever, but when you, for example, I just casted a series of max packs going up against Raynor. Actually, I may upload this video before that one, so if you're interested in seeing max packs versus Raynor, make sure you subscribe so you get notified as soon as that video goes live. It will go live this week, don't worry. That's an entirely different level of SC2, okay? Like, there's like high-level StarCraft, and then there is like high-level StarCraft. I know in chess they use the term Super Grandmasters for the guys that are actually at the top of the game. I wonder if we should use that term as well in StarCraft 2, because there are a few guys that are very good at the game, right? Obviously, per server, there are 200 slots available to be Grandmaster, but Grandmaster is so far away when you compare it to the top-of-the-line guys. And despite the fact that Mape here is the rank 3 on the North American server, I don't think it's particularly close between him and, for example, MaxPax. But anyways, it would be fun to see them playing against each other, I guess. That would be the best way to prove it. Mutas are out, and this is weird, because despite the fact that we had, well, a Hydralisk Den attempt, we had the Overlord drops, this is still very, very fast Mutalisks. We're talking 6 Mutas at 6 minutes into the game. That is 1 Muta for every minute that's gone by. Alright, Phoenix is coming up right now. And they are gonna be an excellent choice. It'll be difficult though here for Mape to expend. Yeah, what exactly do we do from here? The easiest way, I guess, to know how far Grandmaster League is from the pro level is to reach Grandmaster League yourself. So I spent years of my life trying to get Grandmaster, and we got there eventually. And then I realized there is no way. And I don't mean this with like fake modesty, or I'm not trying to be like that fake humble thing that a lot of YouTubers like to do. This is me being very Dutch and very straightforward with you. There is no way, if you're a low-ranking Grandmaster, like I was, that you're ever gonna beat the top-level dudes. There's just no way. It's not gonna happen. Well, these adepts are dealing a lot of damage, though. This is tons of workers going down. And you know what? This may actually just be a little bit too much damage. I mean, the Mutas are now followed up with Hydras eventually, so that Hydra then does come in handy. But the fact that, yeah, we just lost 24 drones on 2 base economy, that means that the YouTube man just lost half of the workers that he had in total. And Maplez is not really, yeah, slowing down very much either. I mean, obviously, in the grand scheme of things, this third Nexus is super duper late. We're talking a Nexus here at 7.5 minutes. Normal timing of this one is about 3:45 in this matchup. But obviously, Maplez had to adjust. He did lose a little bit of economy himself as well, 6 probes in total, but I think what he's doing here is pretty clever. He decides to go into the charge research together with the Phoenixes. So the Phoenixes are gonna be... I mean, they're gonna be capable of lifting up the heavy hitters, right, and deal with maybe the Mutalisks, but lifting up the Queens and then letting the Zealots just kill whatever else should be a phenomenal strat. I think Maplez doesn't even really need that third Nexus. I wouldn't mind seeing him just commit to a full-on all-in and try to see if he can potentially win the game, because uThermal has been weakened. He decides to re-drone, but he definitely knows at this point that this is a gamble. He decides to go double upgrades as well. So basically what uThermal is saying is, if you're going to attack me, I am super dead. However, there is always a chance that you will just let me sit here for a couple of minutes, and if I make these greedy decisions right now, there is a chance that I can get back into the swing of things. Mutas are going to scout on the other side of the map what's going on. It's... What? Mape! We went for charge! Hold up right now, why do we do... Huh? Guys, Maplez did not go for the Glaive to Depth upgrade. He decided to go for charge, which is a Zealot buff. I wonder if unupgraded... He believes that he made the Glaives research. Oh no, well, it doesn't matter. There's more than enough adepts in the end. But that was a very strange way to end the game. Alrighty, game number 2. We find ourselves on the map Alcyone. Let's see. Do we have anything spicy in mind for this particular match as well? Are we gonna stick with the Zergling drops? I mean, honestly, I kind of did like the opener though. Despite the fact that Maplez did respond to it quite nicely, it was also because he got the heads up, right? He saw the Overlord just barely within vision range of that Stalker. If he would not have started up the second shield battery in the natural and in the main base, I think there was a good chance for that Zergling drop to deal a lot of damage. What's cool about watching players like these two play is that you realize that there's still some unexplored territories in SC2, right? We rarely see it at the highest level, so I did cast that series recently where Dark, going up against Bjorn, decided to make 5 bases before he took any gas geysers. So we do still have experimentation at the highest level of SC2 as well, but generally speaking, the game is played like an Excel spreadsheet, you know? Like, we know what's good, we know what's not good, and then we decide to just, go from there. Now, once again, Maplez here sees what he's going up against roughly. He doesn't know at this point if there is a proxy hatch. If this would have been a proxy hatch, I think going for the pylon block here would be a disaster. Anyways, there is a hatchery down, but it's all the way over at the golden minerals. So, alright. What are we going to be spending our gas on? Will it be a lair first? Will it be link speed first? I think it should be link speed first every time. But again, with uThermal, you really never know. Good old cybernetics core right here at home. Fair enough. I think, by the way, in the previous game, Maplez really did believe he went for the Glaives research. Because that's the only thing that makes sense. Did he see the base? Yeah. He did poke in right over here, close to the golden minerals, and he did see indeed what he was playing against. Drones are left in gas once more. So, essentially an identical strategy here from uThermal to the previous game, except this time around he's got the golden minerals, which will help him out a lot. In a low eco game, those golden minerals do help out a ton. You just get that economy in a little bit quicker. You don't need quite as many drones. Zealot is going to be sent towards the gold base, but I mean, it's going to need to have some sort of backup. Otherwise, Lings and the Queen will just do okay. Yeah, it's not going to kill the base, that's for sure. I don't actually like this very much. This Zealot over here. Are we just going to try and... Yeah, so he's hoping that he finds a drone transfer. That's what he's hoping for here, but there is no drone transfer. uThermal keeps all of those workers inside of the main base. Now he's making loads of links again, and he is going for the lair. Probe on the right side of the map too, so we could be thinking about a proxy. Okay, that's exactly what he's going for. In the meantime, a Twilight Council at home. Now, if we want to make a lot of adepts, I recommend, personally, but what do I know? To go for the Glaive research rather than... But I don't know, we have loads of options. Overlord once again getting into position. Lair is just about to finish up. Zerglings are going to be very handy. Here's Brenda. Yeah, Brenda is going to be able to kill that Zealot easy peasy. This guy is just accepting his fate. Don't think we really needed to lose an additional Zergling there, but fair enough. What are we going to make out of the Twilight Council? Could even be a Dark Shrine. I don't think a Dark Shrine would be a terrible idea. No, it's going to be Glaives this time around. Once more may not be correct. Anyways, there's the drop alert. 3.5 minutes into the game, and this time around, Maplez does not see it. That's big. We can do a little bit of elevator play where we drop some of them in the main base, and then, well, you could leave the Overlord over here on that little edge and then pick up the new units once more. Link, though, gets sent on over into the main base. There are 2 shield batteries right now on the low ground. Okay, so that's something. Battery in the main base, however, is not yet done. The Adepts are getting a semi-surround. Good movement right here, though, by Maplez. Really lovely probe control. Oh, no. The Overlord tries to get out. Little Overlord, are you gonna make it? No worries. No worries for the Zerglings. It's a slow process, but it will happen here eventually. In the meantime, though, that Glaives upgrade has been going to town for a little while, as we do have a beautiful line of Zerglings. That Glaives update is almost done, and we've got ourselves a proxy gate on the right side of the map. Golden minerals are fully saturated right now. Roach Warren on the back of this, so no Hydra into Muta shenanigans, none of that. It's gonna be Roaches instead, which I think is a good choice. Spinecrawler about halfway done. That puts Maple on a bit of a timer. He's got 3 gateways at the moment. I think he should commit. Yeah. Wall-off completed at the front. That does mean that the Lings are going to try and work away at the cybernetics core, though, because there's nothing currently protecting this, although an Adept will try and prevent them from killing it. All right, here come the Adepts, but already Roaches are out. Spinecrawler is done. I don't hate this for uThermal. No, I think this is okay. When you have Roaches with Roach speed this early... Dark Shrine right now on the back of it, okay. When you have Roaches with speed this early, it's actually kind of nice. Spinecrawler in the main base too. Lovely. Yep. The Spines are costly at this stage in the game, which is why we rarely see them at the highest level. Because we still have 10 drones going down right now in total, despite the fact that we did go for Spines. And that does mean that Maplez now finds himself with a couple of workers of an advantage against the opponent. I just don't really like his tech very much. The Dark Shrine, I mean, we're putting a lot of eggs in this basket, right? The Dark Shrine really needs to pay for itself because the units are expensive and so is the structure. In the meantime, Lings at the front and Roaches at the front as well, trying to be annoying. Actually, no Lings anymore. Thought those were gonna be additional Zerglings. Drones are being targeted and that is so many of them going down. Spine's just not quite good enough to really slow this down all too much. And suddenly, the worker count right here for the YouTube man is looking pretty disastrous. He is breaking though through the front door. Stalkers were warped in. Okay, nice mineral walk right there with those probes too. Obviously, the Dark Templar are great offensively, but I think what you really want to use them for sometimes is defense. I don't think we're really going to need them over here. A couple Dark Templar. Go, 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 go. There's one. Are we going to go for a second? Are we going to save them up? I mean, he needs a lot of gas. He never took the gases on the natural, which actually surprises me a little bit because it means that he does not have gas to properly warp in. I think you really needed at least a third gas geyser. If we're gonna go Blink too, yeah, it slows down the DTs too much. I actually don't like this from Mapes. I think I really think he should have gone for at least one additional gas if he wanted to do this. Because he's just super gas starved. Yeah, we can make pylons for days. I mean, he does have a bit of a supply block, but... This is giving uThermal a lot of time to react. And now the Dark Templar together with the Dark Shrine, basically pointless. Overseer coming up too. I don't think uThermal realized what he was playing against. But he is still going to, well, have the perfect timing on it on accident. He sees a couple of depths in the main base, fair enough. Hydras and Queens are going to be able to get rid of that. And this DT gets denied immediately. Hydras have got themselves their little muscular augments upgrade, so that allows them to slither around a little bit quicker. These bases are still very disjointed, but despite the fact that uThermal's worker count is not nearly as good as Maple's, yeah, he's got 38 drones now. He's actually been doing a good job catching back up, and obviously he's had the golden minerals, right? So despite the fact that we did have a bit of an advantage right there for Maples, it's really nothing to write home about. Stalkers do have Blink now. No third Nexus anywhere to be seen yet. Trying to micro Hydralisk, an ambitious ploy. Yeah, the Grooved Spines research is a critical one. If you don't have it here, I think it's going to be very difficult to do much with the Hydralisks. Pure Roach Hydra, though. It's a golden unit composition. A classic. And for a good reason. But on a low economy, it does feel a bit flimsy, for sure. Okay, the Adept right now. The Adepts, rather. Apparently, this guy has turned into the manager of this party. The commanding officer over here. Yeah, of course. The manager always lets the other guys go first, huh? I see how it is. Maples is gonna attempt the gold base himself. That is dangerous, but you know what? It may just work out. The golden minerals here would be really nice, but he really needs to spend his money. Despite the fact that we haven't had a big eco, Maple's flooding a bit too much. Okay, gold base indeed starts up together with double battery. Adepts in the main base will once again target firing down whatever they can, and this spine crawler is getting kill after kill after kill. Despite the fact that he hasn't been very fast, he has been very useful. That's what she said. Ooh, Brenda gets saved. Alright, didn't expect that one. There's charge once again. This is not the moment to warp in Adepts. Although I guess we have the Glaives research, so it's okay. We actually are gonna go for all of the Twilight Council tech. Yeah. So it's Adepts into Dark Templar, into Blink, into Charge. Gold base, not going to happen. And honestly, this Roach Hydra ball is looking mighty strong. As long as the Overseer is here, which obviously the Stalkers can shut down if they decide to blink forward, but as long as that Overseer is around, Dark Templar are going to be very, very, very difficult to use effectively. Killing the Cybercore, oof, that is painful right here for Maples, because that means that he can't actually warp in additional Stalkers. The one thing he can warp in is Dark Templar. Fair enough, but the gateways are next. Another base was taken, by the way, here by uThermal. Ooh, oh my god, okay, he does get it there in the end. Maybe that'll allow those Dark Templar to push this away for now. uThermal does not have a good economy though. Like, his army looks scary, but he only has 32 drones. He's lost so many of them. This Dark Templar now also gets an additional kill. 11 minutes in, almost. We've had 39 drone kills in a very low eco game. These shield batteries, by the way, not really achieving all too much. I wouldn't mind seeing another attempt at the gold. Right now, though, we are getting at a spot in the game where the main match, or the main base right here, rather, for Maplez, is running out. So there's only 4 mineral fields remaining. Oh, Dark Templar, hello, not controlled at all. The natural is not going to be too far behind either. So if uThermal here can, okay, just contain his opponent, there is a chance that he wins the game just based off of that. But he decides to go for another attack. Maplez sees it, and he decides to tap out because he can't hold that army. And that takes us to the map Heartland. Let's see. Are we once again gonna go for a quick gas into a quick spawning pool? Will we go for a proxy hatch? I guess not, because no drones are moving across just yet. Maplez has been creative with his upgrade patterns, right? Especially in the first game. But he hasn't really gone for anything super duper cheesy. I think in his mind, he just needs to defend whatever shenanigans uThermal's got prepared. And then he should be okay with the rest of the series. No early game probe scout either, by the way. I think that would not be a bad choice. I'm assuming it'll be a gateway scout. There we go. So the probe, it built the pylon, harvested some additional minerals, and then built that gateway on the low ground. Gas first, once again, 17 supply. 17 supply spawning pool on the back of this too. Where are the overlords going? We have one overlord, I'm assuming heading towards the natural expansion. Yep, there it is. And then the second overlord right over here. Okay. So once more in 2 locations where they could certainly drop some Zerglings behind the wall a little bit later. Once again, pylon block. Fair enough. I wouldn't mind seeing a Void Ray opener, honestly. I think a Void Ray opener would be very strong. It is just one of those, like, the Void Ray overall is quite weak. I think it's considered to be one of the worst units in the entire game at the high level at this point, but it is also, yeah, he's checking for proxy hatcheries right now. There's a couple different locations on this map where it can be, so he's checking for all of them. But I think a Void Ray first is good against, I think we can, this wall-off is not perfect unless we build it in front. Anyways, it's good against not dying to stupid stuff, right? And not dying to stupid stuff is, of course, always a handy tool. So because it was a quick spawning pool right there from the uThermal, he's decided to go for the cybernetics core first. Then a Nexus here at about 23 supply, a little bit late. No second gas guys are taken yet, although we are going to be taking that one right about right now. uThermal decided to go for the 3rd base as his very first expansion. Does now deny that probe scout. Link speed coming up once more. Drones left in gas once again, and there is the super quick lair. So uThermal basically just going for, I guess, Zergling drops every single game. Double Overlord drops is kind of fun, though. It's surprisingly strong as well. uThermal, you know, he's been getting some work done with it. Maplez has been doing a pretty good job defending against it, but it's all very flimsy, right? It's very easy to accidentally mess up. For example, losing this Adept would actually be a bit of a problem. We really do need to keep all of those units alive. So he does see the timing here of the lair. That's nice. Does not see a Baneling Nest or a Roach Warren or anything like that. He decides to go after the drones. No micro right there by uThermal. Hello. Wow. That's actually very sloppy. Yeah, picking out the wrong workers right there, not the ones that were being fired at all. Twilight Council opener once more here, though, by Maplez, so not opting to go for any sort of Void Ray shenanigans. 3 drones, 2 Zerglings for 1 Adept is certainly not bad, but the question is, would he have rather had that Adept at home? Oh, it's a Hydra then. Oh, it's not a Zergling drop. Okay, I thought the Lings were already rallied on over here. Well, this Zealot is actually in a little bit of trouble. Stalker right now coming on the back of it. It's not really that many Zerglings, so yeah, I guess now we just kill the Zealot and run away. Not in love with that, but HYDRALISK then, nice and early here once more. And there is the Glaive Adept. Is Glaive Adept really the safest all-around option here? Because you have scouted the quick lair, you have seen that your opponent is playing a very tricky series. What if your opponent right now decided to go for mutas like what he did in game number 1? Because there's no phoenixes here. There is no blink. We can't really afford that much. All I'm saying is that this could turn into an absolute disaster. So Maplez here flipping a coin. Apparently it landed on Glaive to Depths, and it will work out in this game, I believe, but it is certainly a very dangerous decision. Stalker, by the way, tasked with shutting down that Overlord, and he does get the kill on it, which is really nice. Zergling's at the front in the meantime in a little bit of trouble. And then Stalker decides to turn back, but that pylon should be cancelled so we can complete the wall off. Adepts in the meantime on the other side of the map trying to be a nuisance. Now this is a bit funky as well because they're attacking before Glaives is done. So this is probably the worst time to be losing Adepts. Like losing Adepts right before you get a power spike on them is very suboptimal. I also think if you're gonna go for this opener, you should probably have, yeah, exactly, the Prism in combination with the Adepts. Now, Adepts deal bonus damage against light units. So Hydras need to be very cautious because Hydralisks are light. Hydras do have their Speedy Boy upgrade already though, but they're actually passing each other in the middle of the map. Okay, this is just about to get really awkward. Adepts, okay, will be able to make short work of a couple of those reinforcing Hydras, but uThermal decides to double down on the aggression. Battery overcharge used right away. Adepts do, yeah, they decide to shade back. That's funky. Now he's recalling, I guess, towards the main base. So some of the Adepts have managed to get to safety, but not everybody fit in the circle there. Adept in the main base is gonna get killed. Okay, a couple of the Adepts, though, from the back are indeed gonna get, well, shut down. Question is there just not way too much right here for the Protoss? And this is why we don't really see Hydras very often in the early game. They have so many natural predators. Nice warp in here as well on the other side of the map. Love to see it, actually. I really like that he decided to warp in here aggressively. There was room in the Prism for 4 dudes. Apparently the 5th guy ended up going down on the low ground. Maplez, of course, though, without a 3rd Nexus of his own. The question is, does he have enough? Prism! Oh, just barely manages to stay alive. More and more damage, though, coming out of these workers. And we even have out of these units, rather. We even have a Colossus on the back of this. And that Colossus can really pack a punch. Alright, and upon seeing this state of the match, with less than half of his workers remaining, uThermal decides to tap out.